Hey everyone, in this Grim Dawn skill video, we're going to be looking at Devastation. Devastation is a massive area of effect ability, and this video is going to present it a little differently, and then I'm going to mostly focus on it being a 1-point wonder. But if it's something you want to focus on, then by all means, jump it up to 16 out of 16 or more, and use it as a massive bomb. Hailed as the ultimate force of destruction known to Arcanists, this technique tears a rift in reality through which fall embers of raw arcane energy. This dangerous spell is extremely draining and should not be used lightly. Requires a caster offhand. Embers continue to fall over the duration of the spell. Only one devastation can be cast at any one time. So let's look at the skill box and see what the skill actually does. It has a pretty substantial energy cost, but it has a huge cooldown. This is at 1 point with pretty much nothing equipped except the caster offhand, mostly just so I can drop it so you guys can see what it does. Over the course of 5 seconds, it will sort of just batter an area with lots and lots of arcane meteors. So it's a 5-second duration, 5-meter area, target area, and each blast has a 2.8 meter radius, and there's a 0.2 second in between the intervals of the rocks dropping, and they deal fire and aether damage. So on my Albrecht's Aether Ray Arcanist Sorcerer here, I have all of my gear flipped on and all my abilities turned on, and you can see that the cost pretty much doubled. The recharge went down a little bit, and the duration, target area, meter radius to 0.2 second intervals all the same, and the damage went up. Now, you may be thinking, hey, that's only, like 2,300 damage on both parts, and Albrecht's Aether Ray deals 3k damage per second. What makes that so much stronger an ability, or like an ability you'd even want, comparing the damages? Well, you gotta remember, Devastation hits a giant area constantly, so that is actually 2,300 damage per rock that's falling on that area, and that's a lot of damage per little arcane meteor. So it's a really strong area of effect ability. It goes really well with Albrecht's Aether Ray because the damage types cross over each other. And where Albrecht's Aether Ray is very single targety, Devastation hits a giant area. It's also great for burst damage in a Calidor's Tempest build if you're using a caster offhand. And I recommend Devastation for a number of builds, even if you aren't gearing towards fire or aether. So in my Sorcerer build, I'm not going to cover this as a build video either. So this is in my Sorcerer build where I only threw a point in it, and I use it heavily for just clearing out an area of trash mobs or dealing a chunk of burst damage to a boss. Since it can hit multiple times, you can actually hit a single target a whole lot of times and deal a whole lot of damage to them. Yeah, so on my weird Aether Cold Spellbreaker here, I also run Devastation. It doesn't deal as much sheet damage, but I have Raise the Dead on it because you can equip several devotion abilities to it that are pretty handy, so as it kills things, it'll raise skeletons for me. Devastation, if you're combining with the Arcanist and you take the character all the way to its level 50 tier, I would actually just recommend trying to work it into a build, especially if you have a caster offhand. Obviously, if you're doing a two-handed weapon build or something with a shield or dual wielding, you can't use Devastation. But if you're doing anything with a caster offhand, even if you aren't doing these damage types directly, I do really recommend it. It's an awesome ability, it's an awesome chunk of damage, and it's an all-around just great ability since they changed it to the, it used to be not this. It used to just be like one burst of stuff and dealt crap damage, and then it was sort of like waves, like 5 waves of rocks, and now it's just this battering, constant, awesome ability that just deals crap tons of damage in that area. So yeah, I do definitely recommend a point on Devastation for a lot of Arcanisty builds. And just as a third and final example of a Devastation, not Devastation built character, but a character that uses Devastation, he has this on a 10-second skill recharge rate. Obviously it looks the same no matter what, but he can get it back really quickly because he's based around, cooldown reduction and meteors. So he's a lightning Aether character pretty much, and the Devastation ability deals a lot of damage with him, and it's a great chunk of burst damage like I mentioned before, but he's a druid, so this is a third build I have that features Devastation. So I do recommend Devastation in a lot of builds. So Devastation doesn't have what I would call a lot of item synergies, but a couple items of note are definitely the Outcast Hood, which is a rare that drops off of Anasteria, but also the Outcast Secret here. The Outcast Hood, oh, I don't have it here. The Outcast Hood have you get a free Devastation on hit, where if you're hit, you'll have a Devastation drop against that enemy. But Anasteria's Devastation here is when you score a critical hit, you will get a free Devastation. And this Devastation is in addition to your normal Devastation. Same thing with the Hood's variant. The skill says only one Devastation can be active at any given time. That's if you gear a lot of cooldown reduction. You might be able to get Devastations back to back, but it's there just as a preventative measure from spamming the one ability in one area. I'll also point out the Clairvoyant set. You'll get, I believe it's +5 in total. +6 in total, I think, because you have +2 on the wand, +3 on the chest, so that's 5. +1 to all skills on the helmet, +1 to all skills with the set complete. So you'll end up with a +7 to Devastation with the Clairvoyant set. And that might kind of maybe make it worthwhile to just run this set for a massively powerful Devastation. That'll also get you pretty close to getting it to the 26 out of 16 for the ability, should you choose to attempt that with Devastation. You could probably pick up something like Aldenar's Vanity, or that one spell book that gives you +1 to all skills. Then maybe some other stuff that could get you the, like, I think it's 3 points you would need for capping out the Devastation ability. But yeah, I do recommend running it as a 1-point wonder more than anything, because it really is a 1-point wonder. So for Devotion on Devastation, I use it mostly for proccing things. I don't think I have anything equipped to it right now, but I mean, you could probably throw Aether Fire on it and get a lot of work out of it. Arcane Bomb would get a lot of work as well, pretty much like what you'd get with the Albrecht's Aether Ray ability. You could throw like random things like Flame Torrent, I think, can go on it. Yeah, Flame Torrent can go on it. The Magi's ability, the Fissure, can go on it, though I don't know how effective that would be. You could actually throw Meteor Shower on it, so you devastate, and then you get a Meteor Shower out of it. So there are a lot of Devotion things you could go for. I think Dryad's Blessing can... No, I can't. Never mind. So you can use it sort of as like... It's something where you'd more want to use it for... I think Meteor Shower is a good example of this. You'd get the Meteor Shower chance rate way up on Devastation, so you could drop the Devastation wave, and then you'd have a high chance of having the Meteor Shower happen. I think it'd be a similar thing with... Oh, you can't put it on there. Yeah, you would definitely want something like that, where maybe even Blizzard could go with it. It can. So yeah, you could throw Blizzard on there, and it would work. If you're converting that cold damage to fire, which isn't a bad idea in all honesty. But yeah, you could do weird things like that. But I would mostly, like in a build with Devastation, if you're using like say Aether Fire, I'd more prefer that on the Aether Ray. Arcane Bomb I'd want on something spammable. But if I were running Meteor Shower, Devastation would be a candidate for it because it'd have a high proc rate thanks to Devastation's high cooldown. So that's usually where I see Devastation as a Devotion ability. Something that requires, that you'd want to proc reliably. You'd be able to get it more reliably, but in a longer period of time with Devastation. So that's going to cover the Devastation skill. This video was really short, but really sweet, because Devastation is pretty much, I mean, on its own as an ability. There aren't any modifiers or transmuters whatsoever for the skill. Devastation, giant AoE, deals lots of burst damage. Really solid ability as a 1-point wonder, and it can actually deal a crap ton of damage should you choose to focus on it. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to check out my Patreon. You'll find the link in the description below, and it should be showing up on the screen right now. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hailed as the ultimate force of destruction known to Arcanists, this technique tears a rift in reality through which fall embers of raw arcane energy. This dangerous spell is extremely yeah, we gotta redo that.